All right, so are you ready to dive into this?
I am.
This is a deep dive into this kind of crazy pairing you sent us, Cristiano Ronaldo
Yeah.
and Mr. Beast. And we're going to be dissecting their YouTube interview, which is,
Right.
trust me, not your typical celebrity chat. We're talking about Ronaldo aiming for 1 billion YouTube subscribers.
I know, it's wild.
Mr. Beast's take on thumbnails.
And some serious clashes between, like, their worlds.
Right. Well, and that's what's so fascinating to me about this. It's like this interview is really a window into what the future of online entertainment could be like. Like Ronaldo casually mentioning 1 billion subscribers. That's more than triple Mr. Beast's already massive audience. It really highlights how traditional stars see platforms like YouTube as the next frontier.
It's like he conquered the world of football, and now he's, like, coming for the digital world.
Right.
But, like, the best part.
Yeah.
We get to see Ronaldo react to Mr. Beast's world.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember all those crazy challenges where he's buried alive?
Or stuck on a deserted island.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's face is like priceless when he sees this stuff.
Oh, it's such a brilliant contrast. You have Ronaldo, who is, like, the definition of discipline and control, reacting to, like, Mr. Beast's brand of calculated chaos. It's like watching two different approaches to success just collide.
I have to admit, I laughed out loud when a fly landed on Mr. Beast during the interview, and Ronaldo, with his like laser focus, was like the only one who noticed it.
That small moment, it speaks volumes, right? It's like Mr. Beast is so used to, like, the unexpected that a fly is just background noise to him. But for Ronaldo, it's this tiny disruption in his perfectly ordered world, and it's these subtle interactions that make the interview so fun to watch.
Okay, let's talk about Ronaldo's YouTube ambitions.
Yeah.
So he actually hit 60 million subscribers in his first month.
I know, that's insane.
Mr. Beast predicted like 20 to 30 million, which is still huge, but even he was blown away. Ronaldo's global fan base clearly translates very well to YouTube.
Well, it's a testament to his existing brand power, but I think what's really interesting is Mr. Beast's advice. He's like, more football-related content. Collaborate with other big names. It shows that even with a massive built-in audience, you still need a strategy to succeed on YouTube. You can't just rely on fame alone.
It makes you think, could Ronaldo really get to 1 billion subscribers?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. And what kind of content would it even take to get there? I'm picturing like behind-the-scenes training videos, reactions to his own like legendary goals, maybe even collabs with other football giants.
I mean, it's fascinating to consider. Could he actually become bigger than, like, entire YouTube channels just by sharing his world? And how would that even, like, reshape how we consume sports content?
One thing's for sure, Mr. Beast knows what he's talking about when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you catch that unexpected tip that he gave Ronaldo about thumbnails?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently keeping your mouth closed is the key.
I know, it sounds so strange at first, but there's a real science behind it. It plays into visual bias and, like, first impressions. An open mouth can be perceived as cringy or even desperate on a thumbnail. It's this subtle cue that can make or break whether someone clicks.
Makes you wonder how many marketing teams out there are scrambling to redesign their thumbnails right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much psychology goes into something as simple as like a thumbnail.
And it's a good reminder that in the world of online content, every detail matters. Like visuals, first impressions, even like subtle facial expressions can influence whether or not someone chooses to watch your video.
Okay, but let's shift gears for a second and talk about something that really stood out to me was the stark contrast in how Ronaldo and Mr. Beast experience fame.
Oh, yeah. That's a big takeaway from this interview, isn't it?
Yeah. They both represent massive fame, but in completely different ways.
Totally.
Ronaldo was talking about like hotels being surrounded by fans in South America, people knocking on every door, total chaos.
I know.
It sounds intense. Meanwhile, Mr. Beast chooses to live in a small town and spends most of his time in his studio.
It's true.
It's like they're living on different planets.
It really highlights how different fame can be in the digital age. Like Ronaldo's fame is tied to his physical presence, to his achievements, and it's very much out in the world, inescapable. Whereas Mr. Beast, while incredibly well-known online, can maintain a degree of anonymity in his day-to-day life.
It begs the question, is one type of fame better than the other?
Right.
Like the constant adoration, but with like limited privacy or the ability to blend in, but maybe miss out on those like in-person connections with fans.
It's a fascinating dilemma.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer. It probably depends on your personality, on your priorities, on how you value privacy versus connection. I think both Ronaldo and MrBeast offer unique perspectives on like navigating the complexities of fame in the digital age. But one thing's for sure, it's not always glamorous, and it comes with its own set of challenges.
And speaking of challenges,
Yeah.
let's get back to those mind-blowing feats that MrBeast shared with Ronaldo.
I mean,
Being buried alive for a week. Most people wouldn't last an hour.
I know, that's the genius of what he does. He pushes himself
Right.
to these extremes, both physically and mentally. And by doing so, he taps into like our primal fears and fascinations. We're drawn to these stories of human endurance, even if they make us like squirm a little bit.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more,
Yeah.
because it gets really interesting. He showed Ronaldo footage of the Buried Alive Challenge, the solitary confinement challenge.
And the Deserted Island Challenge. Don't forget that one.
It's like he's methodically checking off every survival nightmare scenario. But what's fascinating is that it's not just about the shock value. There's a deeper layer here, wouldn't you say?
These challenges, I think, reveal a lot about MrBeast's character, his willingness to push his own limits, his need to confront discomfort head on. It's almost like he's exploring the boundaries of human resilience, both physically and mentally.
And there's a clear connection between that mindset and his success on YouTube.
Yeah.
He's constantly pushing the boundaries of content creation, coming up with new and innovative ways to entertain his audience.
And his audience clearly responds to it. Remember, he mentioned that. His Squid Game recreation video was seen by 4% of the entire human population.
It's insane.
That's mind-boggling.
It really puts the scale of his reach into perspective.
Yeah.
It also highlights the power of YouTube as like a global platform. Millions, even billions of people are tuning in to watch these videos, and it's like changing the landscape of entertainment.
Yeah, it's a fascinating time to be a content creator, a consumer, a witness to this evolution of entertainment.
Yeah.
And with guys like Ronaldo and MrBeast at the forefront, it's clear that the lines between traditional media and online platforms are blurring.
You know, this brings up another point I wanted to explore, and it's this theme of longevity. Both Ronaldo and MrBeast touched on their desire to live long, healthy lives, and maybe even push the boundaries of the human lifespan. It's like they're not content with conquering their respective fields, and now they want to conquer time itself.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It speaks to this growing trend of biohacking, longevity research, this quest for extending the human lifespan. And both Ronaldo and MrBeast are known for their disciplined lifestyles, their commitment to physical and mental well-being. So it's not surprising that they're interested in these latest advancements in this field.
Yeah, and they both mentioned wanted to live past 100.
I know, it's crazy.
They even joked about like needing technology to slow down aging. So clearly they're not just casually interested, they're actively thinking about how to make this a reality. It begs the question, how will technology actually reshape our understanding of aging in the next decade?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely an area ripe for innovation. I mean, imagine a world where Ronaldo is still scoring goals at 100, and MrBeast is creating viral videos that defy our wildest imaginations.
It's crazy.
It's exciting and a little bit daunting to think about, like, the possibilities.
But for now, let's appreciate the fact that we get to witness these two incredible individuals in their prime pushing the boundaries of what's possible in both sports and online entertainment. And it's clear we've only just scratched the surface of this conversation. So let's take a deeper dive into Ronaldo's branding strategy and his thoughts on the future of football in our next segment. Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back. You know, it's fascinating how both Ronaldo and MrBeast approach their careers with such intention. We were talking about Ronaldo's branding strategy, and it's not just about, like, slapping his name on any product. Remember what he said about his water brand? Like, quality is paramount for him.
Yeah, that really struck me, too. It's like he's so aware that his name is like a brand, a symbol of excellence. So he's not going to associate it with anything that doesn't live up to that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a smart move in today's market. Consumers are way more discerning than ever before and can spot inauthentic endorsements from a mile away. Ronaldo seems to get that, like aligning himself with products that actually reflect his values only strengthens his brand in the long run.
It's a good lesson for like anyone out there building a personal brand, whether you're an athlete, a content creator, an entrepreneur, you know, authenticity resonates. But let's circle back to this idea of fame and its impact for a sec. We touched on the contrast between Ronaldo and MrBeast's experiences, but I think there's more to unpack there.
Oh, for sure. It's easy to get caught up in the glamour of fame, but both of their stories offer a real glimpse into the realities, both good and bad. Remember how Ronaldo described dealing with fans in South America? Sounded pretty intense, almost overwhelming at times.
It did. Like hotels being surrounded, fans like banging on doors.
Mm.
It really highlight that constant scrutiny and lack of privacy that can come with global fame. Especially for someone like Ronaldo, whose every move is like documented and analyzed. Makes you wonder about the psychological toll that must take.
Right, there's this sense of pressure of never being able to truly switch off. And it's such a stark contrast with Mr. Beast's experience. He might be a household name online, but he can still walk down the street without being mobbed.
It's like two sides of the same coin,
Yeah.
you know? Ronaldo with this massive global recognition but limited privacy, and Mr. Beast with his online empire but relative anonymity and like his daily life. Both have millions of fans, but their interactions with those fans are worlds apart.
That's what's so interesting about it. They both represent these different facets of fame in the digital age. And it makes you think about how these different types of fame shape their worldviews, their interactions with others, even their sense of self. Definitely something to ponder.
It is, and it ties into this idea of achieving and constantly striving for more. It's almost like they're wired differently. Remember when Ronaldo talked about hitting 1 billion followers? He was like, I wasn't even surprised.
It really speaks volumes about his mindset. It's like success at that level requires a certain level of expectation, this belief that it's not even a question of if but when.
But then the question becomes, what motivates you once you've achieved what so many consider like the peak of success?
Yeah, where do you go from there? And I think for both Ronaldo and Mr. Beast, that's where their shared drive to push boundaries comes in. Whether it's Ronaldo setting his sights on conquering YouTube or Mr. Beast constantly upping the ante with his challenges, they're both driven by this need to do more, to be more.
And it's contagious. Remember when Mr. Beast joked about paying to see Ronaldo fly commercial? Just to see the reactions? Like there's a sense of playful rivalry there, this unspoken challenge to keep pushing each other further.
And it's that dynamic that makes their collaboration so interesting to watch. You have these two insanely successful individuals, both used to being at the top of their game, now interacting, inspiring each other in new and unexpected ways.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's not forget like the sheer scale of some of Mr. Beast's challenges. We talked about him being buried alive, but then there's the deserted island challenge, surviving for a week with limited resources. It's hard to even imagine.
Right. It really speaks to his resourcefulness and mental fortitude. Most people would completely crumble under those conditions, but Mr. Beast thrives on it. Like he's wired to test those limits of human endurance.
And there's always this element of entertainment woven into it all. Remember that challenge where he put 100 people in a circle and the last one standing won $500,000? People were glued to their screens for weeks.
So brilliant. He taps into this primal fascination with competition and human behavior and packages it in a way that's both engaging and super entertaining.
And that's what makes him such a perfect collaborator for Ronaldo. They both have this understanding of what captures people's attention, whether it's on a football pitch or on a YouTube screen.
And they both understand the importance of connecting with their audience on a genuine level, too. It's not just about the spectacle, it's about the shared human experience. The struggles, the triumphs, those moments of vulnerability that make them relatable even amidst their extraordinary achievements.
Speaking of which, let's get back to Ronaldo's YouTube aspirations for a minute. He's already had incredible success in his first month, but he's aiming for 1 billion subscribers.
Yeah.
That's a level of influence that's hard to even comprehend. Think it's realistic.
It's a seriously audacious goal, no doubt about it. And it's definitely going to require a strategic approach, as Mr. Beast pointed out. More football-related content, collabs with other big names, essentially leveraging his existing brand power, but within the YouTube ecosystem.
And it's fascinating to think about the kind of content he could create. Imagine Ronaldo like reacting to his own legendary goals, giving fans a glimpse into his training regimen, or even collaborating with other football superstars on a video series. The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And if he can tap into that personal side, the human element behind the superstar athlete, I think he has a real shot at building an audience that rivals his football following. It'd be a total game changer for YouTube and the world of sports entertainment.
But it's not just about the numbers, is it? It's about the impact. What would 1 billion subscribers actually mean for Ronaldo's brand? His legacy, his ability to connect with fans all over the world.
That's a huge point. 1 billion subscribers represents a level of influence that's never been seen before. It's a platform to share his story, his values, his vision with a global audience. It's almost like a second act for his career, but this time He's the one in the driver's seat shaping his own narrative.
It's like he's transitioning from being this world-renowned athlete to becoming like a media mogul, a global influencer with the power to shape conversations and inspire millions.
And it's not even just about personal gain, it's about the potential to use that platform for good. Imagine him advocating for causes he believes in, promoting education, inspiring a new generation of athletes, all with the reach of 1 billion subscribers. The impact would be massive.
Right. And let's not forget about Mr. Beast's role in all of this. He's not just a collaborator, he's like a mentor, a guide, a fellow innovator who's already achieved this incredible success on YouTube. His insights into like thumbnail strategy, content creation, audience engagement, it's invaluable.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Beast's advice is pure gold.
Yeah.
He really stressed the importance of authenticity, of creating content that feels genuine and connects with people on a personal level. And he was big on the power of collaboration, of bringing in those other big names to create truly epic content.
Imagine Ronaldo collaborating with other football giants like Messi or Mbappe on a YouTube series.
The internet would explode.
Yeah.
It speaks to the potential for these crossover collaborations between the world of sports and online entertainment. The lines are blurring, and honestly, the possibilities are kind of endless.
So what does this all mean? We've got this global football icon who wants to conquer YouTube, a master of online entertainment sharing all his secrets to success, and then this whole new generation of fans eager to consume content in these innovative ways.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for something really special.
It is. It's such an exciting time to be a fan, a creator, a witness to this evolution of entertainment. And it's all happening right before our eyes on a screen that fits in our pocket.
This has been an amazing deep dive so far, but we've got one more crucial topic to explore: longevity. Ronaldo and Mr. Beast both mentioned wanting to live these long, healthy lives and even push the boundaries of the human lifespan. It's like they're not satisfied with just conquering their respective fields. Now they want to conquer time itself. It's wild how they're already thinking about like extending their time on Earth. It's like they've achieved so much in their fields that now their final challenge is longevity.
You know what really stood out to me was how they both specifically mentioned wanting to live past 100. It's not just this vague idea of a long life. They have a target. And they seem genuinely interested in the science and the technology that could make this a reality.
Yeah, and it's not just about hoping for the best either. They both lead such disciplined lives, focused on fitness, nutrition. I mean, Ronaldo's training regimen is legendary, and even Mr. Beast, with all those crazy challenges, seems to really prioritize well-being. It's like they know a long life starts with a strong foundation.
I think you're right. They definitely see that connection between their lifestyle choices now and their future health. But what I find so interesting is how they're both interested in those cutting-edge aspects of longevity research, biohacking, genetic engineering.
That's where it gets kind of sci-fi, right? Like
Yeah.
we're stepping into the realm of science fiction, but it's happening now. Makes you wonder, if we could significantly extend human lifespans, how would it change society? Would we see people like Ronaldo playing professional football at 80?
Wow. Now that's a thought. It definitely makes you question our current ideas about aging and what's possible later in life. Imagine people routinely living past 100, staying active, engaged with their passions for so much longer. It would reshape our understanding of retirement, career paths, even family dynamics would be different.
It'd be a whole new world. But let's bring it back to Ronaldo and Mr. Beast for a second. They have these huge platforms and so much influence. Do you think they could actually play a role in pushing this longevity conversation forward?
I absolutely do. I think they have the power to raise awareness, to inspire more research, maybe even invest in companies working on these cutting-edge solutions. They could help make it less fringe science and more of a mainstream goal.
It's like they're early adopters of this longevity mindset. And if they use their influence to advance the science and the tech, who knows what's possible? Maybe Ronaldo will be scoring goals at 100, and Mr. Beast will be creating videos that are just beyond our imagination.
Now that's a future I want to see. But even if those exact scenarios don't play out, it's exciting to see these two guys, both at the top of their game, really embracing this idea of extending human potential. It challenges us all to rethink what's possible, not just lifespan, but in every area of life.
Yeah, it's like they're pioneers pushing boundaries in a whole new way.
Yeah.
This deep dive has been amazing, full of surprises and insights. And I think it's safe to say both Ronaldo and Mr. Beast have given us a lot to think about.
I agree. They've challenged our assumptions, sparked our imaginations, and I think ultimately left us feeling optimistic about the future. A future where maybe we can all strive to live longer, healthier, more fulfilling lives.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. If Ronaldo and Mr. Beast can set their sights on conquering time, what boundaries will you push today? What dreams will you chase with that same passion and determination? That's it for this episode, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Cristiano Ronaldo and Mr. Beast. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop pushing those boundaries.